It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News. I just had a message that said the browser failed to play the opening clip. I assume I'm online. What a crazy morning. We started off this morning trying to get do the broadcast up from Hot Air Tom and Cindy's suite. Lovely suite, by the way. And I couldn't get a signal. So I had to run down here real quick, and where I've been setting up on the other side of deck 7, there were some people over there. I didn't want to bother them. And then I came over here on this side, and now they're getting ready to open the bar right behind me. So we might have some little bit of noise from that, but that's okay. So Bonnie says I'm definitely online. Thank goodness. I don't know what happened with that one. There's always technical issues on Steve's. Anyway, welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News on this, the 25th day of August, 2022. Coming to you on location from Tortola in the British Virgin Islands. Hot topic today, the main story is Carnival Paradise rescues 6 from a makeshift raft. Also, this morning, we're going to talk about Carnival Luminosa Itineraries released, some Carnival updates and testing on uses and their testing procedures just here in the chat. We got a Royal Caribbean story this morning. We've got what is quite a celebrity Ascent. Yeah, we got a bunch of subjects this morning. A split day, folks. I mean, that's one of my weaknesses. So if you're out and about and want to celebrate today, go. Not sure I can find a banana split on this ship, but they do have ice cream. So anyway, that's on the agenda today. One of the things that I had a problem with yesterday, as a matter of fact, I was giving Hot Air Tom so much grief about his excursions, and of course, the same thing today. He didn't like the bathroom in the suite, you see. So he went ashore here in the British Virgin Islands to take a bath. That's what I'm going to stick with that story. We're going to have to interview Tom when he gets back about going ashore to take a bath. I think that would be a perfectly good interview with Hot Air Tom. So, but we're giving him all the hard time yesterday. I had his suite loaded up and never played it. I was going to end my silliness on a serious note. So here is Hot Air Tom's suite. I hope the browser will play it. Let's see if it will.
This is cabin 9001 on the NCL Sky. This place has lots of closets. So right inside the door, we got a closet with a mirror. That's where they got the light that adjusts. And then a few more mirrors. This is cabin
it's not doing it, is it?
On the NCL Sky.
Okay, so I got some kind of issues, and I got plenty of signal.
Inside the door.
Now the browser won't play clips. I'm having issues with StreamYard, folks. Okay, I'll have to save that one for another show. I do have the lovely tour of that beautiful suite they're in. My goodness, I can't tell you how nice that was. But anyway, that's Hot Air Tom. Of course, last night we went to Cagney's for dinner. That was part of my package. And Tom and Cindy as well. I had See if it's going to change that over. Yeah, there we go. The shrimp cocktail there, that's Tiger Shrimp Cocktail. Look at the size of those puppies. I ordered the oysters Rockefeller, and Hot Air Tom says that, well, if I order the shrimp, will you eat it? Because I don't want a shrimp. I don't like shrimp cocktail. And he says, I know you like shrimp cocktail. And I said, sure. So I had Tom's shrimp cocktail and my oysters Rockefeller. And then, of course, you know, I'm always going to eat a steak. That's a filet and a loaded baked tater. But then look at this, guys. That's a 7-layer chocolate cake. That damn thing was 6 inches high. I mean, I ate about a third of it. Cindy and Tom both joined in and ate a little bit of it. We still had half of it was left, but it was really good. Another fine meal. Every meal I've had on the ship has been just superb. Every single one. So I didn't come on the ship expecting, you know, to have fabulous food, and it's been fabulous food for me so far. We do have several stories to cover this morning. If you're listening via the podcast, welcome aboard. You can always access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcasts from, all the big hitters, Amazon Music, Google Podcast, Spotify, Podchaser, Pandora, iHeartRadio, you know, Apple Podcasts, any of the big guys. All you have to do is search for travel and cruise industry news, and up pops the Fat Travel Guy. And as always, I put a link to the video feed. So if you ever want to hop over and check out any pictures or clips that we've used in the show, you can do that. So that's always in the description of the podcast. All right, guys, I'll be right back with today's news after a quick word from one of our network sponsors. All right, the top story today, guys, has to deal with another rescue. I mean, it's unbelievable how many there's been this year. Carnival Paradise came to the rescue of a makeshift raft in the Florida Strait just 3 weeks after it had another rescue of another refugee boat. Reports from the U.S. officials that a Cuban refugee crisis is worsening seems to be confirmed by an increase in rescue operations by cruise ships in the last couple of months. During a sea day, Carnival Paradise encountered a makeshift raft constructed out of styrofoam and plywood with 6 Cuban refugees on board. The captain announced the vessel would be slowing down and checking on the refugees. Once the raft was alongside, it became clear to the captain and crew that it was not seaworthy at all, and Carnival Paradise took the 6 refugees on board. Besides being dehydrated from spending significant time out in the hot sun without proper supplies, the refugees were in good health, according to Carnival Cruise Line spokesman Matt Lipoli. The migrants were welcomed on board and received a medical checkup, food, and clothes. When Carnival Paradise reached Cozumel, the 6 refugees were handed over to the Mexican authorities. Whether they will be sent back to Cuba is unknown. While not uncommon for cruise ships to encounter rafts and boats with refugees in the Florida Straits, the Gulf of Mexico, the number of rescues this year is already significantly higher than in previous years. With the return of cruising from Florida and the downturn in Cuba on the economy that is already struggling at best, refugees seem to be favoring their chances. And this comes with huge risk. Earlier this month, the U.S. Coast Guard reported that 2 people drowned and 5 went missing after their raft overturned in the Florida Straits. All right, another rescue. Carnival, since we're talking about Carnival Paradise, Carnival had some news also yesterday. Carnival Cruise Line has opened bookings for the inaugural season of the upcoming ship Carnival Luminosa and provided detail on the vessel's itineraries from Brisbane, Australia, and Seattle, Washington. Carnival Luminosa has been sailing as Costa Luminosa with Costa Cruises. The ship has been transferred to Carnival Cruise Line and is now undergoing renovations to become part of the Carnival fleet. Carnival Luminosa will sail a variety of seasonal itineraries from Brisbane from November 6th to April 13th, 2023. Next spring, the ship will offer a 22-night trans-Pacific voyage to Seattle with stops in Tahiti and Polynesia. Carnival Luminosa will sail 6 to 8-night Alaska cruises from Seattle. Port calls will include Juneau, Ketchikan, Sitka, Skagway, and Icy Strait Point. Following her Alaska season, the ship will offer another trans-Pacific cruise, this time a 30-night sailing back to Brisbane, with stops in Japan, the Philippines, and Indonesia. Wow, how's that for a bucket list cruise? Bookings are now open for all. Also from Carnival, all unvaccinated crew passengers setting sail with Carnival Cruise Line after September 5th will still need to present a negative COVID test result to be cleared for embarkation, but the type of test can vary depending on the cruise destination. For most destinations, Carnival will begin permitting guests to use self-tests, which can be administered at home and do not require oversight from a doctor, pharmacist, or telehealth visit. Monitored tests or those done in a clinical setting are still acceptable, of course. Self-tests are only acceptable for sailings of 15 nights or shorter. Guests should also note that some destinations will not permit self-tests, including Bermuda, Canada, Greece, and Spain. Carnival Cruise Line also made some amendments to cruises sailing in Europe, specifically Carnival Pride and the maiden transatlantic crossing from Southampton of the Carnival celebration later this year. Carnival Pride, which is sailing several cruises in the UK, Western and Northern Europe, and in the Mediterranean through November, and Carnival Celebration, which is sailing her maiden transatlantic voyage and her first cruise ever from Southampton on November the 6th. For all cruises except those visiting Greece and Spain, all unvaccinated guests ages 5 and older should provide a negative result of lab-administered or supervised self-administered PCR or antigen COVID test taken up to 3 days before embarkation. For cruises that visit Greece, all guests 5 and over must have a negative test on PCR test taken within 3 days before sailing or an antigen test 2 days before sailing. This is especially relevant for the Carnival Pride. If guests are fully vaccinated but have not yet received their booster shots if eligible, Carnival Cruise Line will consider these guests as being unvaccinated. This means they'll be subject to additional testing on board, which will be provided on a complimentary basis by Carnival. Guests are not allowed to present a document of recovery for cruises that visit Greece. All guests must comply with vaccination and testing guidelines. Self-tests that are not medically observed are not valid for cruises to Greece. For cruises that visit Spain, which includes both Celebration and Pride, all unvaccinated guests 12 and older must present the negative results of a PCR test taken within 3 days before sailing or an antigen test within 2 days before sailing. As is the case with sailings to Greece, if a self-test is not supervised by a medical professional, it's not acceptable to travel to Spain. And like we've said time and time again, folks, stay awake. Keep up with your cruise line and the specific cruise you're on, because however the protocols are today, they're likely to change tomorrow. And I feel sorry for you guys at home that just, you have the rest of your life to live. You can sit there and look at this crap every day. I do. And I still can't keep it straight. It's totally confusion. Every cruise line's different. Cruises are different. So you just got to stay on top of the one. Work with a travel professional, travel agent if you use them. But you got to stay on top of, because we're changing more rapidly right now than we have throughout the whole pandemic. All right. Keel laying. The keel has been laid for the Celebrity Cruises' next Edge class ship, the Celebrity Ascent, marking the beginning of her construction. To mark the occasion, a ceremonial coin was placed onto a steel docking block that forms the keel by Jason Liberty, President and CEO of Royal Caribbean Group, and Lauren Castang, General Manager of Chantiers d'Atlantique Shipyard. It was then welded. I'm having trouble with my tongue this morning. It was then welded to the keel. The laying of the coin is a long-standing maritime tradition thought to bless and bring good fortune to the vessel. As the fourth ship in the Edge class, Celebrity Ascent will begin her inaugural Caribbean season in Port Everglades, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, setting sail on her maiden voyage on December 3rd, 2023. The vessel will be 17 decks tall, 20 meters longer than the original Celebrity Edge, and will feature more public space on board. New 2023 and 2024 itineraries for Royal Caribbean, including 5 to 12 nights on Spectrum of the Seas, sailing to destinations such as Hong Kong, Japan, the Philippines, Taiwan, and Vietnam. Spectrum of the Seas will continue to sail its popular 3 and 4 night getaways, recently launched to destinations such as Penang, Malaysia, and Thailand. So Royal Caribbean has announced the sailings for Hong Kong. All right, we do have one other story this morning. I got to mention weather, folks. I hate to do this. It's bad luck to talk about weather when you're on a cruise ship. But at least got to throw up the map. There's 2 systems. One is, and they're not major systems, folks. And I don't want to scare anybody on this one. Of course, the one there in the east is heading toward the Leeward Islands. Possibly could catch up with us. We had a little rain here this morning in Tortola, but it just doesn't look like it's going to develop. There's a chance, 20% chance of development over the next 5 days. The one coming off of Africa has got a little greater chance of development, maybe 20 to 30% chance over the next 5 days. And then we'll just have to see on that one. But there's 2 systems out there. I mean, keep in mind we're well past the half point in the season, and we still, at least in the Atlantic, have not had a major hurricane. We haven't had any hurricanes. There've been several in the Pacific, but none in the Atlantic so far. A couple tropical storms, but that's it. All right, let's jump over to one thing else I should point out. Some of you that have caught my experiment yesterday, I tried to do a live tour using StreamYard, which I use for this broadcast, from my phone. And it was a horrible signal. The audio was okay, but the video stunk. But on it, I did mention that I had a little wreck in St. Thomas with the scooter. Basically rolled the scooter, jammed my knee and my finger into the pavement. I thought I was going to have some serious issues For some reason, though, hitting the knee and the pavement didn't break open. Had a little bit of a hematoma on it, which is pretty much gone down. It's still got a little bit of a knot, a little swollen, but it didn't break the skin, and it's not overly painful. I mean, yeah, I'm sure eventually it's going to get real black and blue, but it's a relatively small bruise now. My hand jamming into the pavement, I did bleed a little there, but not real bad, and it's pretty bruised this morning, but nothing terrible. My neck and back is sore, unbelievably sore. So I really gave my body a good jolt. But I mean, I'm okay, guys. One thing I did decide, excuse me, I had thought, I canceled the Cruise Amigos today because we're in Tortola, and I wanted to go ashore. This is one of my favorite islands, and I find it probably the most beautiful of all the Caribbean islands. We leave at like 1 o'clock, so I'm not going to have time to go ashore, unfortunately. So then my next thought was, okay, we'll go ahead and I'll uncancel the show. My neck and back are not going to take doing 2 shows today. So that's going to stay canceled. All right, let's jump over and see who is fussing at me in the chat room. All right, let's see who's with us today. Carol's here. How are you feeling today? Yeah, I'm not, again, what I thought was going to be hurting is doing really well. The rest of my body is not doing so well. Hope Chillie's okay after yesterday's tumble. Yeah, that was a doozy. These scooters are just not built to be on top of you. I'll tell you that. Even if you're a big fat guy, scooters on top of you suck. Travels with Lizzie Lou. Lizzie Lou, glad to see you, darling. Getting ready for your trip. Carol says, excellent signal. Thank you, Carol. Nikki's with us. Hi, Nikki. There's Emma. Hi, Emma. Good to see you again. Haven't seen you for a while. Welcome back. Cindy Lee's with us. Sonny's with us. It started playing Hot Air Tom's sweet video. Saw it on Facebook Messenger too. It started playing, only I didn't see it. How about that? So I started and cut it off. Oh, well, sorry about that, because it never came up on my screen, and I didn't think it was playing at all. Those shrimp look awesome. And they were good, too. Emma says, yeah, I love NCL. I tell you, I have been totally surprised at the food quality. And again, I wasn't expecting it. I know what to expect with other cruise lines. But when I've done Norwegian in the past, I mean, I didn't dislike the cruises, certainly. But it never jumped up in me of the food being that good. And this cruise so far, the food has been that good. And I'm shocked. So Kenneth's with us. Hi, Kenneth, up Pennsylvania. Emma says, I would love any 30-day cruise anywhere. Me too. I would love for the day to come where my podcast and this channel are sponsored, possibly, that I could afford to do something like that. That would be awesome, I think, to go to Alaska, do the last sailing in Alaska, and then take that 30 days to go to Australia. Oh, wow, that would be a fantastic cruise. Gretchen's with us up in Ohio. Hi, Gretchen, how you doing? Bonnie says, did you raise your veggie level this morning? No, I have not. Actually, I've been popping ibuprofen to try to keep my neck and back going to get through the show today. I may have to go work on the vegetable level as soon as I get off the air, however. Nikki says the longest cruise we have taken 34 days this past January. So nice to be able to settle in. Man, I've never done one that long, and I would love it. The most I've done was 3 weeks, and that was 3 back to back to back. And actually side to side to side. There were 3 different ships. I was gone for 3 days, 3 weeks, but that's not the same because you got to back up and move to another ship. So yeah, I'd like to do some long ones. All my bucket list cruises are long like that. The ones that I really want to do, and of course they carry a price tag. Bonnie says, I wish I could take a longer cruise, but it's difficult when my doctors won't prescribe more than 30 days of meds. Yeah, that's something that I'll have to deal with as well. Especially if I stay on this stupid $11,000 a month thing they got me on now. Cindy says, once I retire, I'll look at those long ones. I can't even get 2 full weeks for my upcoming Mediterranean cruise to allow time to recoup. Oh, that's too bad, Sin. Hit the lottery. That'll do it. Nikki, that's a nice cruise, 34 days. By the end, I'd hate to get off the ship. Yeah, me too. That's just it. I not want to leave. Of course, then you can always go on one of these new residential ships and just stay out there. That's getting more and more appealing to me. Yeah, bummer on the roll. I tell you what. Now, this is a 3-wheeler. They also have 4-wheelers. I've had 4-wheelers before, but I was looking at buying one of these to replace my small scooter that I have at home. And the newer ones, I mean, they come apart with a one finger to take a piece apart, and they're four pieces are 35 pounds, which I can easily lift those to put them in the car. I mean, now it's 57 pounds, and I lift it in the car all the time. I have a rack on the back, and then when I'm on the cruise, like when I drove to Miami, I take it off the rack, put the scooter inside the car, fold the rack up. So just, no sense in tempting fate of somebody stealing the thing while I'm gone. And they're not likely to break into a car because it's in a secure location. But this thing is, and it was, I guess it would have to be considered my fault, but I was at the gate going out in St. Thomas. I was on level ground, and I didn't have my passport, and I just double checked with the guy there at the gate that I needed a passport, and he said, "Oh, no, just as long as you have a photo ID." Well, I have my driver's license in my pocket. So I reached into my pocket to pull out my stack of stuff in my pocket, which is money and my credit card, and driver's license, and main things that I need a lot to make sure that I had it. And I did. And I went to put it back in my pocket, and just shifting my weight, and it started tilting me over, but it was going over to the side of the bad leg, and I didn't have time to get the leg off to possibly stop me, and I was just like dead weight, just wham, right out in the middle of the pavement, right there at the gate. I mean, the guys jumped right immediately. They wanted to give me medical attention and all those things, which wasn't necessary. Took 2 of them to get me and the scooter up. But, it wasn't really a crane, even though I claimed it was. But anyway, it took 2 people to get my fat butt off the ground. So glad you're okay. Yeah, I just hurt my pride. And then I have to talk about it like a fool. Sonny, after 33 or 34 days, you have established a routine and are loath to leave. Yeah, I can see that one. Chillie, please be careful. I can say that because I'm older than you are. Yeah, you're older than me by what, 7 days or something, Nick? Maybe schedule a nice massage today. A gentle massage in the spa might help me feel better. I'm not a big massage person. Um, Hot air suggested I go get in the sauna. That my fear is because my skin is so thin anymore, um, between the chemo and everything else, that if I heat this knee up too much, it would liable to split the skin. So I'm thinking let's let this thing calm down a little bit. So I may start using the bourbon therapy. However, that's dip, pour 3 fingers of bourbon, swirl your fingers in, rub it on the knee, drain the leftover, and repeat every few minutes. That works fine. So, Bonnie, I was wondering what hot air, where Tom here, where hot air Tom was. Yeah, he's out taking a bath. Yeah, the bar has opened behind me, and there are folks back there talking and stuff. So Jason gave Tom that moniker. Jason, what a guy. Jason's not with us today. I haven't seen him today. He's getting ready to do an 8-hour live stream, he was telling me, on his, he's got a gaming channel. He's doing an 8-hour live. That would kill me. Tell the lady behind you hi from all of us. Me, ma'am, everybody online here wants to say hi. Hello. Where are you from? Ohio. Oh, Gretchen, here's an Ohio back. Oh, no. You guys are fine. They were just tell people hi. Lizzie says, reminds me of your scooter mishap earlier in the year. Yeah, it's twice your scooters. Yeah, I quit using them. Sonny says your scooters share as long as you don't get hurt. Of course. Yeah, I know that. Bourbon therapy and I should work. I'm heading that way, Cindy, as soon as I get off the air. Hey, Prim Travels with us. How you doing? 7 sleeps till your cruise. That's awesome. And Gretchen says howdy here. All right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for today. As always, I'm glad you guys are with me. If you're new to this channel, thumbs up are always appreciated. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. You'll be notified anytime I go live or when a new video is up. Just hit that little bell notification thing. So that's going to wrap it up for today, guys. I'll be back same time tomorrow. Tomorrow is we're in Great Stirrup Key tomorrow. So same time, same place, 11 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time for travel and cruise industry news. For now, this is the old fat travel guy. Stay safe, stay healthy, think about cruising, and hopefully one day soon we'll all get together on the high seas. Later, y'all.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.